Hey, Bob, welcome. How are you doing? How was the roast beef sandwich? Not yet. Technically, I don't go up for another 4 minutes, but I started it up. So I'm just working away. I technically don't start till 3:30. So, yep, nobody here yet. Still working on the mystery thread that I've been working. I think I'm now about 12 articles deep in this thing. You follow it down the rabbit hole. Getting close to the end of the rabbit hole, though, I think. DC has calmed down, Kashadan. Welcome, by the way. It has calmed down for the moment. The real fear right now is for next week. Sorry, 2 weeks from now. During the inauguration, what will go on there, I have a hunch. It will be very tightly secured. Roast beef and Swiss on a real bagel. Ooh, that sounds tasty. So at the moment I'm writing about a character who unknowingly was a major part of creating these circumstances that nearly destroyed the planet. It's one of those. It's one of the kind of one of those stories where it's like he created something for the benefit of the world and trusted others to take care of it, and they got careless. And because of that, and because he wasn't part of the team, he kind of stepped aside, let somebody else take it over. And when they did, boom. So his is kind of a tragic story. Or pizza. I have made my own bagels at home. They weren't bad. Bagels got to have just the right chew to them. Yeah, they got to have the right chew to them. You're not picky, though, are you? I think Pretzel Rocks has had a major blow up when it comes to the music they have. That, or they're really wanting people to go to their premium subscription, because there are some channels that pop up with nothing, and others, like this one says it has 21 hours. And a lot of these will show, hours and hours of music, and you get like one song. Let's see how this is looking so far. Yeah, on the bigger streams I do YouTube safe just to be, because I do stream to all three. Yeah, I've had YouTube Safe turned on because, like I said, I should probably turn it off during Kahuna Quiet because that's a Twitch only. But this stream and the Happy Hour stream are both multi-streamed. I'm waiting on approval from Demetrius of my the JavaScript for my puzzle. Once I get that, then I've got about 5 pages that'll go live all simultaneously because I don't want anybody to hit that page and it not work for them. That's part of the whole puzzling. So return. How does your own URL things work? Okay, so there's actually 2 different steps, and the guy to work with the most on this is Captain Fry on the Discord channel. But basically, the first level is you can go in and change it yourself. You can go into your world. Let me see. Let me show you where it is. World settings, configuration. Under monetization, and I think it's under advanced. No. Well, give me a second here to find it. Well, heck. Now I gotta find it. Under here. No. meta, is it? No. Give me a second, Bob. I'll find it. There's actually a field where you just change it. I thought it was under monetization. Oh, there it is. Yeah, it is under monetization. So configure monetization. Right here, the world URL slug. Where right now your thing says worldanvil.com/w/ your world dash your name or your username. By changing the world URL slug, it just becomes -w whatever you put in this field. So mine is -w or /w/Arnathia. That's the first step. Now, if you have a domain name, you can have it set up so that the domain name goes straight to your world, and when they're tooling around on your world, it will show that in the address bar. That's the one that Captain Fry has to get involved with because he has to do some changes on the back end to basically host your domain name. But you can change the slug, and it takes like 2 seconds. Boom. Now, keep in mind that any link that you have hard-coded with the old style, especially links that are not on World Anvil, you'll have to go back and change. My website, that happens a lot. There'll be an older article, and somebody will click and leave a comment, hey, this doesn't go to where you think it goes. Sure enough, I go back and find that, yeah, the link is broken, and I got to just change it to the new one. But it's really super simple. Configure, monetization, and then world URL slug. It's like the third field on the way down. Yeah, then you're good. Then you're all good. Oh, there you go. I don't know what happens with mine. Oh, I was there already. Knucklehead. Am I the first length? I am. Huh, interesting. Apparently, I'm not the only one with this name on their world. Yeah, there's apparently somebody on Arnathia who's, or on World Anvil who is also using Arnathia. And since I created mine, their article is only 3 months old. That's okay. Your ship. There we go. Yeah, I'm getting that too. World Anvil's got clout. So World Anvil will get you looks if people are looking for your world. Okay, this station's giving me 3 songs. I'm finally in that stage where articles are interlinking to other articles very tightly. I'm actually filling out stubs. That's the beauty of it. I'm actually filling out stubs now. I can actually, link into something and have it go to the right place. And then fill it out. Oh, good point.
Are you online?
Yes.
Can you open that for me? I can't get it open.
The other thing I do around the house, besides being TV tech support and computer tech support, holy crap, what'd you do to it?
I didn't do anything to it. That's why I can't get it open.
There we go.
Thank you, honey.
That was garlic, dog. You don't want any. Did you just close the dog in?
She can get out.
Okay. You can sit here with me if you want. You're not on camera today, so. Dorky dog. So that works. What? Alright, the fact that there's like 3 songs on here is annoying me. this article. Well, hello there. Welcome. Welcome to Kahuna Help. How are you doing today? Doing some writing, doing some graphics today. I need to come up with yeah, I need to come up with something that looks like a certificate. Like a diploma of sorts. So let me turn on the you can see what I'm doing here. Do something new. Yeah, that's good. Let's see. Looking for a good background image that looks like, you know, paper. Stuck with a description. More elegantly describe a spoiled brat. He starts with, well, let's see. So, spoiled brat. Okay, is it spoiled brat because he's got lots of money and he's spoiled that way? Is it spoiled brat because his parents let him get away with stuff? Is it spoiled brat just because he doesn't listen to anybody? Different levels of spoiled brat will give us different descriptions. So, tall, orange skin, small hands, and a comb over. Too soon, Bob. Too soon. Maybe not. Okay, so he is a brat. His parents let him get away with it. His parents don't see anything wrong with it. They'd never tolerate it from somebody else, but they'll tolerate it from him because he's their baby boy. So, he acts like a... Well, you could say something like, and it all depends on where you want to go with it. Something like, he acts like an overprivileged child who has no right to the privilege. Like, or along the lines of, and again, without knowing your world, it's kind of hard to totally fit it, but something like, you know, He acts like the child whose parent lets him run around the grocery store, or run around the Starbucks while they order their coffee. Like a child keeps coming back to all of them. Like the child, like the child whose idea of sharing is taking your toys as well as his. How we doing? Does that get you any closer? Give me some idea, so we can always tweak things. I think my favorite so far is the toys. Looking for a good background for this. Ooh, excuse me. Acts like he was a noble in a room full of peasants. Okay. You could go that way. You could twist it a little bit and say, he acts like a peasant who thinks he's a noble. You know, those ones that are just really annoying, that they think they're better than they really are. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Oh! Cool. Well, hopefully we were helpful to you. You're welcome to hang out. You're welcome to do whatever you like. And if there's any way I can help, I would be glad to. Hope I was some help there. See, this. There we go. All right, let's lighten this up a little bit. Yeah, that looks better. He acts like a narcissistic nobleman in a room of peasants. A room full of peasants. Would because in a room of peasants, kind of room full of peasants, I think will probably fill that sentence out a little bit and balance the sentence out. But I like it. All right, so what I'm working on here is going to be a certificate that's going to look like a kind of like a diploma. I'll crop that there. So what I took was, it's actually an earth background from a map, and I just lightened it up to make it a little bit more like paper. Let's see. Dudley Dursley as an example to help me describe Dudley Dursley. Yes. But unless you're okay with using Dudley Dursley in your writing, you're okay. Now, if you're okay writing Dudley Dursley, then, well, you got it. Artistic text tool. I need to find a new font, but let's, you're writing a fanfic. Oh, okay. Well, then you're good. Let's see here. Naughty. High Council. I gotta find the right font for this. Do. No. No. Let it catch up here. No. Yeah, that's probably going to be it. Yeah, as long as your readers know who you're talking about, then you're good. Okay. Everyone must start somewhere. Some of us have to start multiple times. I hate when I forget characters' names, 10 minutes after I've written them. Ah. Well, yeah, I mean, I have ideas for my storylines, you know. They're so broad and so out there. I know pretty much all the storylines that I want to tell. But hey, my world, my rules, I can change it if I want. And always keep that in mind. Fanfic's a little different because there are some expectations, but I still believe in your world, your rules. Go out the door, knucklehead. It's open. Did you get it? You're a knucklehead. There. I got it. Go. Hey. I see what you did. Yeah, goofy dog. The door is open. Oh. I think the parcel tongue ability that is so useful. Why don't Harry use it more often? Toad no chicken ignorance on. Alright, now I need to create a different asset. So now what I'm creating is basically that's what I'm looking for. A seal. Not an orc seal, a seal. Need something roundish. Okay. Alright, that works to start. We're going to fill this with a red. And now I'm going to put a circle in it. Center. Center. Oops. Center and center. We're going to give this a very slight stroke. Just like that. Now, let's combine these two. And now let's rasterize that just to make sure. And now let's start adding effects. What are you doing, you goofy girl? Alright, so I've got that. Now what I'm going to do is copy this. Put it up on top of that. Now try to do the same thing. Yep. 315 is what I needed. Okay, it doesn't like that, so minus 45. There we go. A War of the Serpent Kings. Ooh. Like where you're going with that. Alright, now I need some kind of insignia to put in the middle. Let's do a weird one here. High Council. Image. Council symbol. I have an interesting idea. SVG, I don't know if I can copy it. Probably can't. So we're good there. Ooh, nope. That uncentered it. Oh, because I did this wrong. I gotta do center and center. Alright, that puts that center. Is that how name was? Harry Potter's Patronus was the same as his father's in Act. His name about the same as Lily's. Patronus. How does this look for a stat block for your typical tavern brawler? Alright, so let me check that. And it's not coming up as a link, so let me see if I can copy it. And why? Because I haven't finished the graphic yet. That's why you see the symbol of the Galactic Republic. Alright, I like it. They're not lightning fast, but they're not slow. And yeah, they basically cheat. I like it. I like it, bub. Looks like a good tavern brawl. Have a room full of those. That could be a heck of a brawl. Alright, so now back to this image. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, copy it, paste it, and now flip it vertically. Let's merge these two. Alright, now I can go through and I can just... Yeah, I'll go through and just paint in some extra. And it'll no longer have the look of our friends, the Galactic Empire. Ooh, need a much smaller brush. That'll work. Alright, now I need to go and erase these things. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill these. Take this just a little lighter. There we go. And now effect. That's going to be a 135. Soften it quite a bit. Ambient light down quite a bit. I need to adjust the color a little bit. I think I'm happy with that. I need to save this as an asset. Cool. And then give me a different wand. You don't feel strongly about this, do you? I'm just checking. All right, so now I'm going to take this and drop it. And it's actually a little big. And I need to now add a drop shadow to that. Where are my notes for the months? There they are. Yeah, I get stuff with that like that with my own story. It's like I write it, and it all makes sense, and all of a sudden I go one piece and go, oh, that doesn't make any sense anymore. Oh, and I gotta tear it up. Maybe he's sworn to secrecy. Doesn't break it. He's a hat. Well, there's that. I was trying. Need to reduce the flow some. Oh, thanks for the follow. You could keep going. This is a rant-friendly zone. I'm on for another half hour, so if you got more questions, pop on back. I am done with this image. Certificate. So I'm going to export it. And now I can drop it in on this article. But thank you for the follow. Be right back, gang. Take a bio break. All right, sorry, I'm back. Hey, Esong. Welcome. How are you? And thank you for the follow. Pass the meeple. I am still working on my rabbit hole storyline. Haven't quite found the end yet. Kind of appropriate for a rabbit hole, isn't it? But I am happy with some of the stuff. Let's see. Yeah, it's got to be more chill than last night. Here's I'm waiting for a response from Demetrius on whether I can go live with this in general. But here is the puzzle I've been working on for a week or so. Zeroth helped me. Each of these knobs are individual. And then when you think you got the right combination, you click the button. If it's wrong, they reset. If it's right, you go to the next page. Like this. I put in the right combination, and boom, it takes me to the next page. Yeah, I really was working on the graphics. Well, once we got the mechanism working, and like I said, Zeroth was phenomenal with that. Once we got the mechanism working, then the graphics were easy. But thank you. There's basically 3 graphics here. Well, the knobs are all the same graphic, obviously just repeated. The actual compartment that it's in is one graphic, and then the bar at the bottom is the graphic. So there's really just 3 different graphics here. The knobs just repeated. But yeah, I put some clues in. Hey, Stretch, welcome back. Yeah, I like where this is going. Let's see. When you get there, you go to this page, which is the secret vault. Well, it's not the secret vault. It's the vault behind that door. And then I have I've been putting in kind of, I don't want to call them Easter eggs, but they're hidden clues, so that if you look closely on each of these pages, there's something that will take you to the right next page. And some of them I've created. For some of them, I've created what I call the spoiler disguise. Fairly easy to put a spoiler in World Anvil. There's usually a button you click and it opens it up. What if you made that button visible, but invisible in plain sight? What I mean by that is I figured out a way to make pieces of text the spoiler button. So when you click it, the spoiler pops out. But you have to find it. If you really look at the page, you can figure out where it is. But it was a cool little feature I added to make it. I didn't want to make it too easy to find it. Yeah, look at that. Bing. And that actually takes you to the next page. I have a separate one that is just for documents that are written. Stretch, you probably do. It's only CSS. That's really all it is to it. It's CSS within a container, and I basically use that container to say, okay, this is how I want you to do a spoiler in this container. So it's really easy to do once you know it, and then once you've done it the first time, you can do it from then on, and it works really well. But it lets you put little Easter eggs in. It doesn't care about the font. It doesn't, because all it's doing is hiding the button, the round button, and leaving the text alone, and leaving the text in the same format it already was. Yeah, it's getting rid of the button. It's only CSS. Yes, I know. But it's fairly easy CSS. Yeah, you're just getting rid of the button. Well, you have to get rid of the button and make sure that the font carries through, because the spoiler button usually changes the font, so you have to carry the font through. Otherwise, you'll see a change in the font. But other than that, it works fine. Yes, it's only CSS. Yeah, so then if you find that little hidden one, hey, Sable, you get a document. And I think in this document, you just go, there's actually a real link to the next one. Oops. Didn't need to do that. And that goes to this individual who looks, very unhappy. Well, it's not just as easy as making the button transparent. That was the problem I had with it. You can make the button transparent, but it's still kind of obvious there's a button there. So you gotta make it work. But I'm happy to help anybody with it if they would like it. So then it goes to this article. Poor guy, his whole his quote is, "What have we done?" Oh, hey, no worries, no worries. I may have to do a video on it. I did put out a video this week. It's on my YouTube channel. Started going down that list that we talked about. So this week was... let me find it. What was my list? Oh, this week was about... my youngest offspring has been GMing lately, and their question was, what do I do if my players don't want to follow the script? Meaning, they've put together what they think should happen in their adventure, and the players are just going sideways on it. They're not even coming close to it. Esong, I know you've had to deal with that. And so the video that I put up this week is my thoughts on what do you do when your players go sideways on you. And, some people will not like my answer. Yeah, like every player. See, and that's the funny thing is, because they're new to it, they don't understand that. Demonic vampire gargoyle based on this guy from World of Warcraft. Let me take a look at it. Because they're new to game mastering, they just haven't gotten into the idea of they take you south. Huh. Big, beefy, kind of vampirish looking guy. All right. I played World of Warcraft early on, and Then I switched over to Neverwinter because it was free. I'm not big on playing on the social aspect of it. And there's so many things that you can't do by yourself that doesn't really work for me. But yeah, so that was the video this week. Let's see, what did we just talk about? Should be a video? Oh yeah. Disappearing, call it hiding the spoiler. Other things I've got. You are not prepared. You are never prepared. Other things I'm looking to do in a video on. Lair actions was a great suggestion. See this thing button, hiding the spoiler. Yep. Got that one there. I'm going to call it hiding the spoiler. The lair action, you know, how to use lair actions in writing your adventures. 3 sessions ago, I started this session by mentioning a hanging in town. Okay, that one I'll blame on you, because you gave them something else to do. I think all of us who have done it enough have become resilient enough that we'll let them go a little off course and then figure out ways to get them back on course. Yeah, we've, you know, one of the examples I like to give is, you know, you set up this whole thing and there's this, you know, very interesting side path with signs that basically, you know, literal signs that tell them they should probably go that way, and they ignore it and go straight into the next town, which you've already created because they have to go to that town eventually anyway. But, well, crap. They really can't do what I want them to do and go to the adventure unless they go down that side path first. And so how do you redirect that? And my whole thing is, I don't want people to feel like they're railroaded when I'm playing, when I'm, you know, game mastering. And it's like, because to me, getting railroaded, it takes away the agency of your character, and it's like, oh, he really wants us to go down there. But if you give them other options that end up leading them there, that's not a bad thing. Had them roll a 1d12 for how many days they were able to delay the hanging. They got 9 days, which gave them time to get out of town. What happened down the side road they need to do? Well, if they took that little side adventure, there would be something there, and there would be a clue to the next adventure. They unfortunately skipped the side road, went into town. They don't have that clue. And so, you know, things I would do with that is things like, you know, eventually they find someone in town and they start asking, you know, there's enough things going on. They go, oh, we need to look for that thing. And somebody will say, oh, you know what? Now what I heard is there's this town just out there, this road just outside of town, and it goes off. And I heard of stuff going on down there. Redirect them that way. But without making them feel like it's like, you have to go there. Still give them the choice to go, and if they don't, figure out something else and change it up again. So lair actions is probably going to be this week's thing, and trying to work that into how you create an adventure. Are you talking about about Great GM videos or the videos I'm talking about? Because the videos I'm talking about, I'm doing. They're on my YouTube channel. Try to break my adventures into small, discrete encounters or scenes. Yeah, exactly. Sure, on the quick glass. Evil group in the shadows kidnapped the captain of the guard's daughter and pressuring the captain into hanging innocent dwarves to stoke tensions in town. All right. That makes a motivation, as long as your characters give a crap about the dwarves. Okay. Yeah, a lot of the great GM videos are great. Some of them are a little dry. I think my only issue with the great GM videos, and let's face it, it's the persona that a great GM is supposed to have, is that I am the expert, this is how you do it. And I don't subscribe to that. There's always a different way to do it. Always. And I don't necessarily believe there are better ways. There are some that are really bad ways. Well, I'm working on one now. Party has 2 different paths to get to the target place. Right. They were the ones being hung, and there's some... Ooh. So, yeah, I mean, you don't want to railroad your characters. You want to have options for them so that they feel like whatever option they took, you already knew you were there. You were ready for it. It makes the world feel bigger. Yeah, Sable, that's a perfect way to do it. Storylines are storylines. But if you want players to be invested, then they have to feel like they're making a difference and their choices have consequences and results. Yeah, I mean, again, I like a lot of the great GM videos. I agree with you, Esong. It's just, I think it's perfect for his persona in doing his videos. I just don't subscribe to everything because I do it differently, and I've been doing it differently for a long time. So, you know, if it works for you, it works for you. My videos are more tips, not this is how you do it. Mine is, hey, try this. Because I think there's always different ways to do it. I learn from other GMs. Hopefully I'm able to give other people advice too. Hopefully finding the missing daughter, getting suspicious about the shadow organization, and being pulled into choosing a side in town politics. That's a big hope. That's a big hope. Yeah, so lair action this week, using the environment, those might actually be combined into one. Tactics for encounters as a GM. How to do that. Integrating maps. Let me show you actually my latest integration of a map that doesn't look like a map. That right there, my friends, is a map. No, I swear, it's a map. Yes, I used a little bit of CSS magic to get rid of the map controls. Because what the real function of the maps are is to give you clickable areas on an image. So I set it up so you can't zoom in or out. This is the beginning of the puzzle. So there are 2 different ways to get to the puzzle itself. One is one of my magically hidden spoilers, The panel seems to be removable. Perhaps you should try. That's if you really need the clue. But what you can do is, if you click on this panel, and notice, nowhere on here is there anything that says anything. But if you click on this panel, it takes you to the puzzle. And again, the puzzle, you have to set these into the right place and click the bar, and it tells you at the top, press release bar to override lock. Once you click it, if you got the right combination, it takes you to the next page. If you didn't, it just resets the lock. So, like I said, I'm waiting for Demetrius to okay the script that's being used to do the lock part. Everything else is completed. Although I'm looking at it, and I realize with this lock, there's 256 combinations. I could make it, I could just not say anything and force you to try to go through 256 combinations. It actually wasn't that bad coding-wise. But again, Zeroth gave me the code for it. He saw what I was doing, and he had done something they had done something on their own site for a puzzle, and it was just an adaptation. But I thought, well, I could just let you keep trying, and then I thought, nah, I need to give you some clues, but I can't make it too brain dead easy. So when you look at some of my clues, understand that the obvious one is probably not the one you want to go with. Although I'm realizing my clue, which is up here on the right, is actually not quite complete. Well, actually, the coding for this is not CSS. It's JavaScript. It's JavaScript. And that's why Demetrius has to approve it. He's got to approve it being released into the wild. So I'm just waiting on that. So, if you think CSS is bad, JavaScript. Yeah, so then you go, wonder if there's a way to have 3 cubes lined up on a bar, all rotate. Yeah, there is. Sure, let's add in another coding language. The cool thing, Esong, is that there's a lot of JavaScript out there where if you have access to the JavaScript, it's not difficult to find things that will do what you need them to do and just simply adapt them a little bit. It's not that difficult. It really is not. I actually did a JavaScript version of this before Zeroth did, and then he looked at it and went, oh, let me fix that for you. A pair of letters on each face. Yes, it could be done. Yeah. Be right down. Sorry about yelling there, folks. Yes, Stretch, it is possible, and you can do it. Okay, so you can make them rotate. The problem is if you have to click on them, then it's an issue. Or if you need the value of them, it's a little bit of an issue. But it is completely possible. Okay. Mrs. Kahuna is yelling. It's game night here at the Kahuna Lair, and our guests have arrived, and dinner is ready, so I have to sign off. Who shall we raid? Any suggestions? Anyone? Bueller? Anyone? Bueller? Who we got to raid? Wow, there's almost no one. Travis Tavern Talk. You know what? Travis has been here, and I have not sent anybody to him, so that's good. Are they up, is the question. I just want to make sure. All right, we'll go to Travis Tavern Talk. All right, you guys, thank you for coming in. Tomorrow's happy hour. So if you want to be here for happy hour, same time, 3:30. We'll have fun. We'll probably start next week. We'll resume our fundraising for happy hour. Needs another day or two for. I could use a day or two for recovery. All right, you guys, we're going to send you over to Travis Tavern Talk. Happy hour tomorrow. Please come on in, enjoy it. I'm off to go eat before Mrs. Kahuna comes up here with a hook. So have a great evening, you guys. We'll talk to you later.